Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Velima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the support of Oracle cards, the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Alright. Already shuffled. Let's go ahead and see what we got. This might be complicated. I have this weird feeling. Oh, I feel like this goes here. Yep. There's like a whole lot. You're heading towards like this moment. That's my first thought. Don't leave that alone. No, leave that alone. Okay. Alright, so when you're coming into this situation, you've got a lot of energy going on here. You're trying to do what's right. You're trying to hold the line. You got 5 cards, and these are all good cards, and I feel like you have a very, very... I feel like this is going to go good. I'm seeing what's coming up, and I feel like this is actually going to go good. You've got all these cards here. You've got the King of Pentacles over here. You got Judgment in the middle. You've got the Four of Wands on the other side of Judgment. You got Justice at the bottom, and the last one there is the Seven of Wands. So you got all these cards. This is you coming into the situation. Doing what's right, holding to it, having that sense of obligation and responsibility, and holding to it. But these are all normal things from the stereotypical Tauran. Holding to responsibility, doing what's expected. You've made up your mind how you're going to handle it. Holding the line. Judgment and justice together in that same spot is saying that things are going your way, and it's the right way for things to work out. You're holding to what's expected. You know exactly how this is going to work out. I've even seen this come through in the sense of like with those 2 cards coming together, is like if there's a judgment that's unfavorable, you feel it's still justified. So even if like somebody gets like a court hearing and they end up going to jail, this would be them coming to... Those 2 cards would say that you agree that that's what's necessary, that's fair. So that seems to be... I don't know where we jumped into that track, but there you go. The situation, though, as you're coming into it, you're holding to what's responsible. You're owning up to your piece of it. And you're doing what you're responsible for doing, but you're completely on board with it. Like, yes, this is how this needs to happen. This is what I need to do. Because you're very responsible with this situation, on board with it, owning your piece of it, looking to, if there's a debt, you're looking to pay it because you're like, yep, I did that. I will do what I need to do. It's kind of like a kid breaking the window. Yep, I broke the window. I'll take it out of my allowance. I'll work around the house to pay for the window. You know what I mean? That's that energy. Kind of like, yeah, I know I did it. I'll take responsibility for it. The environment has the 6 of Pentacles because of this. You're taking complete responsibility for your own actions. Because of that, the environment is saying, okay, it seems to be very favorable. It seems to take a lot of stress off the environment. You're getting help. Somebody's help relieve some of the stress from it because you're owning up to it. They don't feel like everybody does that. For example, if we're going to use that kid breaking the window, they break the window, then they're blaming it on everybody else, so they don't have to take responsibility. The fact that they didn't have to find out what really happened, or you didn't just break the window and just kind of disappear and just be like, window, what window? It's where they had to actually dig it up and find out what happened. The fact that you owned it directly and just did what you had to do, that goes in your favor. The environment is looking at you very favorably. I see you, whatever the situation is, and I am getting this sense with Taurus, and I know it's a general read, but I am getting this sense, like, maybe there's something you feel that was a little out of focus. You're putting it back in focus, and you're owning your piece of it. It's very much like, all right, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That's the energy I'm getting there, so take it with a grain of salt. It's a general read. But you're owning your piece of it. You're definitely owning your piece of it, and you're making it right. You're sticking with it as things go forward. You're like, I said I was going to make that right. I said I was going to pay for that window. I will, and I am. I'm working towards it diligently to get it paid off. Looking forward to paying off that debt, too, is what I'm getting with that Knight of Pentacles. As this keeps going, I feel like the environment, whatever you're dealing with, because you're owning it. People make mistakes. Welcome to life. Like, I feel like most of us realize that. Like, nobody does everything perfectly. In fact, everybody has a degree of error. I mean, usually we all have a degree of error more than we want to admit. I don't know why I'm saying that, but there you go. Usually that's humanity, you know. But because you're owning it, you're literally taking complete ownership and you're making good on it. You're taking the steps you said you would do. You're doing what you said you would do. I'm getting this in the environment. The King of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles. You're getting support. I feel like, but especially with that Four of Pentacles, and there's a card right above this. It's the Four of Swords. This one especially, it's matching up with the Four of Pentacles in this situation. They can't really give you a hard time. But I feel like when you're owning your own situation, they're supporting it. But I also feel like the King of Wands here is actively supporting the situation, but can't seem to do anything to derail the situation. It's almost like most of the time, people wouldn't own up to their own situation, and that's where the King of Wands could step in and get more control. Because they'd be like, oh, nope, you didn't own that, you need to own that. They could step in, but because you are completely owning it, they don't have a stable footing to stand on. They don't have a stable place to stand to do that. So I feel like you're kind of holding the King of Wands to the side. Like the King of Wands is kind of leaving you alone. Because I'm getting this Four of Swords again. They're not really communicating. They like having control, but you're not giving them a position to take control of the situation. They're very happy and pleased that you're doing what you need to do, but it's also keeping them at bay. I feel like it may be a little disconcerting for this King of Wands, because even though it's going well, it is kind of removing some of their control. Because there's nothing for them to control. You're in control of yourself. You're doing what you said you would do. There's no reason for them to step in. This actually feels good, because I feel the Five of Pentacles with the magical powers, you're creating your own control. You're making good on something from the past. You're distancing yourself from the King of Wands. The King of Wands, again, I feel like that's a person who likes to have a control of a situation. I feel that Five of Pentacles is you distancing yourself from that control. I'm not saying this person is good or bad, because I'm not catching it either way, to be fair. But what I am getting is you're literally distancing yourself and creating your own control in this situation. The magical powers with that Five of Pentacles, you are creating this distancing, but I feel this is good. I know that Five of Pentacles is being on the outside, but I feel like in this case, you're creating your own control. You're removing somebody else's control. You're removing their reason to be able to have that control. You're making good on this situation. Where you're heading for with this situation, if it keeps going the way it has gone so far, you will get complete resolution from this. You'll make good on that debt, because I feel like there's a debt here, and you'll be completely free from it. Completely free from it. The King of Swords, was he here? Did I imagine him? It was the King of Wands. King of Wands. The King of Wands becomes the Queen of Swords. Don't get caught up in the gender. This is the same person. It's just how the energy is shifting. Wands, fire, that's action, that's trying to take literal control. That's a commanding energy. Queen is still a commander, still a decision maker. But this one is more, what it goes to in the future is like a communication, thought process, keeping in touch with you, but I feel like this person is just making sure everything is how they think it is. But this is somebody who communicates. This can be a commanding energy, true, but what I'm getting from this person now in the future is I feel that they're just keeping in contact with you, but you're off doing your own thing. You do not seem to be held to this person's will anymore. This person is off doing other things. I do see the Success card. They feel like you've made amends. Whatever they thought you needed to do, you completely did that. They feel completely happy with that. You've got the World card. The phase is over. You've moved on. You've also got the safe home protection. You're not about to repeat this mistake. I feel like you've actually moved on from it. If it was a mistake or whatever you felt you had to own up to, whatever that was. Between you and this person, I do see the Eight of Swords, though. And the reason I see that this is the outcome for you and this person is because I don't feel like the two of you actually deal with each other going forward very much. I feel like the reason you would is only out of conflict, and there's no conflict here. So it's almost like you bond through conflict. When the conflict is removed, you don't really deal with each other. And I feel with the Eight of Swords, it's kind of like you don't really want to. It's kind of like there's an emotional connection, like to deal with that person is to deal with them through conflict. And they also seem to be matching that. I feel like that's where this is ending, where you're not really going to deal with this person anymore. Because it's just kind of like the whole reason for them to be there is to help you work through this conflict, and you don't need them. So you're not going to go towards them. They aren't going to go towards you. I feel like it's kind of like, it's almost like you're barred, like you're trapped in the situation, kind of like there's no reason to have a connection to you unless I need to work something out. It's kind of how this feels. Which for some of you, it could be a family member or a friend. And I feel like you're distancing yourself from this person because it's just, you know that they're very strong and they want to have control of a situation, but you're fine on your own and you work better on your own away from their energy. It doesn't mean they're bad energy or good energy. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means that the way they run life and the way you run life is just not going to coincide. You're going to keep separate. You're going to go your separate ways. Even if you're parallel and you're still aware of each other's lives, I feel like you're staying out of each other's, staying out of each other's lives, staying out of each other's way even. It just seems to be how these two energies match up, yours and whoever's person this is. When there's no conflict, where there's no reckoning to be had, you just seem to stay away from each other. You just seem to leave each other alone. Doesn't mean there's animosity. It just means you're not getting in each other's lives. I think that's it. All right. I'm going to wrap that up there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.